In the early morning hours of March 2, 2007, a chartered bus carrying the Bluffton University baseball team plunged from an overpass onto a busy interstate in Atlanta, Georgia. 7 people died, including 5 students and the bus driver and his wife. 29 more were injured. This tragedy forced a close examination of road design, bus safety, and road signage, and highlighted how a moment's mistake can change lives forever. This documentary examines what really happened that day, exploring the sequence of events, the factors that led to the accident, and how multiple small issues converged to produce a major disaster. Bluffton University, a small Mennonite liberal arts college in Ohio, fields a Division III baseball team that travels to Florida each spring for a series of games over spring break. In early 2007, the team chartered a 2000 Van Hool T2145 motor coach, equipped with 57 seats, and planned a roughly 18-hour, 900-mile drive to Sarasota, Florida. The bus driver, Jerome Jerry Niemeyer, and his wife Jean, both from Columbus Grove, Ohio, had driven the same route with the team the previous year. They checked into a Comfort Inn in Adairsville, Georgia, around 7:30 p.m. the evening before, to take their mandated rest as required by federal rules. Earlier that morning, around 4:30 a.m., Niemeyer took over driving duties in the motel parking lot. The team slept, some in their seats, some across the aisles. Only 6 seats on the bus were equipped with seat belts, at the front row and jump seat. By 5:30 a.m., the bus was traveling south on Interstate 75 in the Atlanta metro area, using the High Occupancy Vehicle (HOV) lane. This left-hand lane is typically reserved for vehicles with multiple occupants. Niemeyer was driving at about highway speed. According to survivors, most passengers were asleep, only to be jolted awake by Jean's scream when the bus veered unexpectedly. The location of the accident, exit 252 to Northside Drive, is an atypical left-hand exit in the HOV lane. Signs could be confusing. Standard HOV signage continued. Exit signage was mounted differently from federal guidelines, and the arrow painted on the pavement could mislead drivers into thinking the HOV lane continued straight. Around 5:38 a.m., the bus entered the exit ramp instead of staying on I-75. It rose at highway speed, reached a T-junction marked by a stop sign, but did not slow or brake. With no skid marks, investigators concluded Niemeyer likely didn't realize he was exiting until too late. At the top of the ramp, the driver attempted to turn left toward Northside Drive, but without slowing, the bus drifted sideways into the concrete bridge wall and guardrail. The impact swung the bus around, then it fell approximately 19 feet from the overpass to the interstate below, landing on its left side. It even struck a passing pickup truck, which escaped unharmed. Moments later, first responders received frantic 911 calls from inside the overturned bus. One player inside pleaded for help. "Somebody please help us," his voice cracked amid the chaos. 7 lives were lost. 5 of Bluffton's baseball players, Tyler Williams, David Betts, Scott Harmon, Cody Holp, and coach James Grandy, plus driver Jerry Niemeyer and his wife Jean. 29 others suffered injuries, some critical. Within minutes, medical teams from Grady Memorial Hospital, Atlanta Medical Center, and Piedmont Hospital were on site or alert. Grady opened an entire wing, while other hospitals prepared trauma units. Family members and teammates began arriving from Ohio, while Bluffton University canceled spring break and held a memorial assembly the same day. Freshman pitcher Sam Frucci, who wasn't on the bus, drove overnight to Atlanta upon hearing news. Another survivor recounted, "This is something that's not going to leave the guys that were on that bus this morning. This is going to be with us forever." Coach James Grandy, on the bus as a rider, was critically injured but later stabilized. As he recovered, he later described seeing shattered glass and helping fellow passengers climb out of wreckage. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, quickly launched an investigation. They ruled out mechanical failure and driver intoxication. While Niemeyer was taking ibuprofen, sertraline, and atenolol, no alcohol or impairing substances were found. The probe spotlighted 2 main issues. 1. Driver error, due largely to misreading the exit and failing to brake. 2. Road design and signage, linking this to multiple other incidents at the same exit. NTSB Chairman Mark Rosenker remarked, "An accident that didn't have to happen." Investigators recommended federal highway sign standards be updated to clarify left side exits, especially in HOV configurations. They also highlighted that with no seatbelts or compartmental restraints, particularly near windows, ejections occurred. 4 passengers were thrown from the bus through the windshield during the crash. Atlanta's left exit HOV ramp at Northside Drive had seen no fatalities before the mid 1990s, before HOV lanes were added. However, after HOV implementation, it had contributed to at least 3 fatal wrecks in the preceding decade. In one analysis, the ramp's signs were improperly mounted, affecting driver decision-making. Large overhead signs required paired exit signage, but were omitted during redesign due to mounting issues. This resulted in confusing pavement arrows and poorly positioned stop signs without beacons. After the crash, Georgia DOT began adding advance warning signs, flashing beacons, and extra stop signs. The tragedy also triggered changes in federal vehicle safety policy. Survivors' families and advocates worked with Senator Sherrod Brown, DOH, to push new bus safety requirements. A federal highway bill passed in 2012 mandated seatbelts on new charter buses, anti-ejection, glued windows, stronger rollover-resistant roofs. As John Betts, father of victim David Betts, said, "This is not really high-tech stuff. If these recommendations had been adopted, our sons would be alive today." In the years that followed, Bluffton University, the Georgia DOT, and safety advocates commemorated the victims while implementing systemic changes. The site was marked by memorial tributes, and athletic events honored those who died. Georgia's highway signage for HOV exits was overhauled, marked by extra warning signs, stop sign beacons, and clearer pavement arrows on similar ramps statewide. Meanwhile, families settled legal claims. Georgia paid for negligent design, the bus company settled wrongful death claims, and Bluffton's insurance policies were deemed liable by the Ohio Supreme Court. Bluffton President James Harder described the campus as a close-knit family, shattered by the loss, yet committed to remembrance and learning.